Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. And today's episode, we're going to be putting fire bottles in this bad boy back here. You can see them kind of hanging right back there. So let's get on into the episode of installing fire bottles in a mud truck. Alrighty guys, so today we are going to be mounting these bottles. We're going to be using the Stroud kit. Pretty good kit right here. We've got the full system. So we got the bottle mounts, we got the fittings, and we got the lines and everything. So they do have some pretty decent little instructions right here of just ways of not to mount the bottles, and also ways of what they suggest to do in here. So we're going with something along these lines right here. Our bottles are going to be straight up and down, but back towards the back, and that's completely okay. All right, so that's what we're going with this one, and so let's get after it here. All right, so it's also good to note as well how your nozzles need to be oriented inside your truck or around your motor and all that good stuff. So they're cool with them pointing down, they're cool with them pointing at an angle, they just don't want them straight up, okay? So make sure you keep that in mind when you're doing your nozzles here. Alrighty guys, tools we're going to be using in today's episode. So a lot of these are going to look familiar, just like when we done our brake line video in the last episode. Alright, so in this week, we're going to be using 1/4 inch steel line is what's going to be going in this thing. We've got all of our fittings. We're going to be doing a double flare on these. We've got some plastic hold downs, just like what we use on the brake lines. We've got our cutters. Again, you want to use this style of cutters so that way you're cutting these lines straight. Also, you want to use a deburr tool. You've got to deburr the inside. You guys saw our brake line video, same thing there again. We got our tube straightener, and we got our flaring tool, and we got our benders here. So these are the tools you guys are going to be seeing in this episode, and we're going to get to hammering down here. Alright guys, so I thought I'd give y'all a sneak peek here what all we're going to be working on today. And yes, that's 2 nitrous bottles, and yes, that's 2 fire bottles, and yes, we're going to be putting in the cables and the pull handles for the fire bottles as well. And every time I see nitrous bottles, I had to throw in a little movie clip here. If you can, comment down below what movie this is from.
I need NOS. I need NOS.
No.
My car topped out at 140 miles per hour this morning.
Amateurs don't use nitrous oxide. I've seen the way you drive. You got a heavy foot. You'll blow yourself to pieces.
I need one of these. One of the big ones. Actually, you know, let's make it 2. An area I need it by tonight.
Anyways, guys, I always get a kick out of that. But anyways, so we had to get our battery box in here as well. And I just want to give some angles here and some views of what all we're dealing with here. We got bottles, we've got bottles everywhere, and we got to start running some lines. So when it came to this, I just literally had to start at the back of the bottle there and straighten out a little bit of line and kind of go from there to figure out what direction we're going to go and where these lines is going to go. All right, so this is the path that I figured out that we're going to go, and you guys are about to see us do that. So your best way to do this is get your first one tied in, okay? That's kind of your start point, and then start making you some measurements of what direction. You can see I've got me a Sharpie path here of where you can see I've wrote on the pipe there where I'm going. You can see I've got bender marks here, I've got bender marks on the pipe, and it helps you kind of figure out the direction, the path, and everything. So there is one thing here that I tried to prevent from happening, but I could not keep it from happening, is a lot of times I don't like having your lines on top of tubes. I like having them tucked up against the frame rail. And this truck here, I had a problem with that, and that problem was due to this area over into here. So my only choice was I could come this way and come down, and then I had some really weird bends, and then I couldn't get behind the bottles there without causing a big mess. So I ended up having to go this path anyways. It looks really good. I'm really happy with it. You guys can see us bend it out here in just a minute, but that's the reason we had to go that way. Alrighty guys, as you can see, I got my good helper Jesse with me for this part right here.
About time.
About time, that's right. So Jesse's going to be in this episode with us here today. That's going to be really cool. Miss Hannah has helped me out on filming, because if y'all can see here, this fire bottle line that we got going on that's inside the cab,
We got a gnarly Christmas tree going on.
is really, really complex. That's for sure. So what we're doing is, and I'm just giving this as an example, I won't show all the bends because it's so complex, but sometimes with some of these bends, you need an extra set of hands. So I know the bend I'm about to perform here needs a 90 on it, but this brake line has to be clocked, or brake line, this fire bottle line has to be clocked just right in order for it to happen. And I know this part of the line is level on the inside of the truck, and I know this part is pretty much vertical in there. When it comes to these lines, you can't think of it as an exact perfect thing. Just have the mentality of you're going to get it close. You're going to get it close. You're going to get it close. And then as you do that, you can start making your way and really getting it fine-tuned. But anyways, we're using our tube straightener again right here. And this thing works awesome.
First time I've seen it.
How you like it, Jesse?
That thing's radical, dude.
Nice,
I
Amp.
dig it, man.
So what we found is you can use this thing as like a focal point or a place to help hold your tube while your buddy is help getting it level. So now you've got a place that you can bend from to help you get your lines more accurate. So we're going to put our bend in here and make it happen. So Jesse's keeping it level over there, and I'm about to put a bend on it. I've got my bender mark on there. I know I'm going to bend vertical where I'm at. I'm going to go straight up. So we're going to bend straight to the 90. Just like that right there. There we go. So now, if all my math, crazy mad scientist is right, it should lay pretty much right in there. So let's go check it out. That's right. All right. All righty, guys. Let's get this line in here, Jesse.
Yeah,
And,
man.
let's see if I can put my money where my mouth is over here right now. All right. So something too, guys, when you work on these lines, make sure that you're putting, it ain't because they're a sponsor, make sure you put some anti-seize on your fittings.
Yeah, man. Especially, they're aluminum, so
Yeah. It's just
make that happen.
These things are just like AN fittings.
Yep.
Oh, all right, let me get this thing bolted up here. This, man, I think this is going to look pretty good.
It looks clean, man. Reminds me of the 80s paint scheme, dude.
Oh, it's got this almost ZZ Top.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, look at that.
I dig it, man.
All right, show y'all another trick. Because right now, you see how it is. It's like it's not completely formed to it. A trick that I've learned is you can take you some zip ties and you start kind of anchoring this down. Because right now, we don't have any anchors in here at all. We don't have no mounts in here. It's just hanging out in here. So we'll start putting some of these. I like using the removable zip ties. Those work really, really good. So we'll start putting these in here as we kind of go here. And
Lay it in place.
we'll kind of plug and play here and see what all we got to work with.
Fits like a glove, man.
Dude, I'm liking it. Because I think the direction we went here, because guys, something you got to remember too, when you do this, you've got to get this thing fitting pretty good and also know how to put it in here, because this line's not going to be in here once it's powder coated.
Yeah.
Once it's powder coated, then you got to put it back in here again.
Don't want to scratch that paint.
No. Let's see what we got here. And as I was talking earlier, this is definitely one of those things of you can't get in a hurry and you can't try to make this perfect. You gotta get it close. You gotta get it close and then just keep fitting it. And once you do that, things will start lining up here.
Mm-hmm.
Move my mic here. We're still testing these mics out now.
Yeah, they're doing good. I think you need to invest in a rope or something. Throw
A rope
on
on, yeah. We're trying to figure out like where they need to be at and all that stuff. But we're getting it figured out. All right. I'm liking the general direction of this. It's pretty daggum close where this is going. We can probably start mounting some of this and really start fine-tuning it. But the main thing, I wanted to get us a nice clean look right here.
Yeah, man. Don't even know it's there.
Won't even know it's there. That's looking good. All right then, Jesse. All right, guys, y'all are asking in the last episode about a double flare. Well, we're doing steel lines today, and we're going to get to do just that. So this is what a double flare looks like, okay? It's a whole lot thicker compared to what a single flare is on stainless lines, all right? So again, it's a two-step process, all right? We're going to do the first step right here, okay? We've already got our line flush with this block right here, okay? And this block is what's holding the line. All right, you got to make sure it's good and tight or it will mess it up. All right, just like that. Yep, it's got our first step in there. Now we're going to click it over, hit the second step, make sure it's good and tight, just like that. Yep, we got our flare in there.
Now, what measurement was that second step?
That's still your 1/4 inch. Both of these are for a 1/4 inch line, okay? You got step 1, you got step 2 right there.
That'll work.
That's all it takes. Alrighty, guys, so there y'all go. You can see that double flare that's on there now. It's a double flare. Anytime you see it, it don't have a sharp edge on it. It's actually rolled over right here, and that's what makes them so strong. And it's definitely the preferred one, but where these are steel lines, you can put one on there, and it's really strong and it lasts a long time. So heck yeah, guys, that one's done. Alright, guys, so we're using these little clecos again to hold these lines down. And just to give y'all an example of how this works, drill you an 1/8 inch hole, okay? And we're going to use these clecos right here because this chassis is going to get powder coated. All right, we don't want this finalized just yet. And so we'll put this back in here if I can do it one-handed. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, just like that. And see, that's a little quick hold down for us. So we don't have to rivet or screw this down just yet. And we can take this in and out really quick and really easy. And you can see we've got these things kind of throughout this thing here, and it worked out pretty good for us. All right, guys, so the next step is I needed to get these tabs tacked on here for the pull handles for the fire bottles, and I just found this random bracket I had to help me kind of hold these so they're lined up and parallel with each other. Worked out pretty good, got them tacked up, and now it's time to get these lines hooked up. So as you guys can see, we've already cut our cables here. We've got some excess on the ground there, and I'm going to show you guys how to adjust these things on the bottle here, okay? So it takes an Allen wrench up here on the top side, okay, and I'm going to loosen it back up so you guys can see how this works here and pull it out. All right, so if you see right there, let's see if it'll clear out here. Yeah, there you go. So you've got the cable, and then you've got the cable metal shield, and then you also got like this silicone cover that's over it, okay? That's the black part. All right, so you've got to cut the metal shield far enough back to actually stick through this whole entire housing right here. But then you gotta give yourself about a 1/4 inch right there of that shield so that this set screw can clamp down onto it, okay? And as long as you give yourself enough wire to just hang out here on the end just a little bit, you're in good shape. Just like that right there. Now you guys can see the cable stuck through a little bit, and we've tightened up the Allen wrench. And also don't forget, you got to keep your safety pins in there as well while you're doing all this so you don't actually engage the bottle. All right, man, look at those lines right there. Got some killer looking hold downs I just made to go in there. Our lines, our bottles are looking good. I really like the design of all this, way it's kind of laid out here. We had to stop at the firewall here because of what we've got going on out here at the front of the motor. We need to get our fuel cell mounted and our oil tank mounted and all that stuff before we finish this line out here. So we've got to stop right there before we can move forward. But guys, this thing is looking good, and I'm really, really excited about it there. All right, so we're gonna have us a nozzle right here on the transmission where our trans lines are and all that good stuff. It's a good spot for that one. We're gonna have us another line right here. I'm gonna tee off right here where you see that one little line sticking out right there. It's my test piece. We're gonna have us a nozzle hitting the back of the intake back here where all these lines and all these fuel lines and all that stuff is. And then we're gonna have another one come out right around in here, and we're gonna point it towards the fuel pump and the oil pump right over in there. So that way it's spraying all this too. So that's our plan with this moving forward. All right, so I knew people would ask, so I figured I'd explain it anyways, what the reason is. So why did I not put the batteries in the back here? Why did we try to put everything in the driver's compartment? Because we've got our nitrous bottles, we've got 2 fire bottles, and we got a battery in there too. His electronics are gonna be in there, all that stuff. Why am I doing that? There's a reason. Okay, so number one, race car, you always have to think of, no matter if it's a drag car or mud car, you're trying to even out weight, left side, right side. You always, most of the time, you have the driver on the left side of the truck. The left side is always heavier. Same thing on drag cars. So you try to counter out the weight by mounting things to fix that problem. On a mud truck, in my opinion, there's a couple other problems there as well. One of them being is keeping stuff clean and working on things, okay? So most people would mount their fire bottles back here and their battery back here as well. A lot of people would think move the weight as far back as possible and then sheet metal it in, okay? Well, there's a couple of things on that I've found. Personally, okay, if you put your battery in the back, there's a couple of problems that comes with that. You end up adding more weight to the race truck or race car because of how long your battery cables have to be, okay? They make disconnects that you can put back here at the back, because you always have to have a kill switch back here anyways, to where you don't have to run a heavy gauge wire all the way back here to the back, okay? You can set this up to where you don't have to have really long battery cables everywhere. I've also found with the long battery cables, it can also cause voltage drop problems on your starter if you ain't careful too. So I've learned the closer the battery is to the starter, the better it'll be for you. It's just my opinion. And also, on this truck particularly, I'm really, really happy with how our sheet metal work looks here. We got a panel we got put in right here. You can see it better on the other side there, how it's gonna look. Let's see here. Okay, see how all that's filled in? The same thing's gonna happen right there, okay? So my thoughts is on this, where this is a mud truck, I want all this back here to be open, okay? That way when they go to wash this thing and clean this thing, it's super easy. If you put a bunch of sheet metal in back here, all that happens is it gets beat up to death. It's more panels to work on, and it makes it a pain in the butt to work on the suspension and everything else. So this truck, I'm going down a different path. I want it all open, it all exposed, so that way it's easy to clean, easy to maintenance and work on and all that stuff. And everything is closed in the driver's compartment, so all your important stuff is in there. All right, guys, hope y'all enjoyed that. I'm happy. We got some killer progress right there. Fire bottles are in it, lines are in it. We got our nozzles run. We've got them out here to the engine. We've got them on the transmission around the driver's area there as well. Guys, we're looking good there. We're hammered down this project here. We're gonna keep it moving. We'll wrap it up here. Tonight's Christmas Eve. I believe this episode should be up for Christmas Day. I hope. If not, it'll be the day after. And Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm gonna end this video off here with just some family videos and just stuff that just happened the past couple of days with snow and taking the kids up to the Speedway and lights and all that good stuff. But anyways, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see y'all in the next episode. I say do the part where you're talking about you're fabricating fabric. This is true. So right now we just realized that Hannah, she's working on Christmas presents right now, but she is fabricating with fabric in the fab shop. So dad joke for you right there. How you like it, Hannah? 10 out of 10. There you go. All right, guys, so heck yeah. Just working in the shop. Miss Hannah's got her little area over here as well, and we are hammering down right now trying to get this truck done. We've been working on the shop as well, working on all these banners and all that good stuff. So we've been busy. We're trying really hard to get this thing really cleaned up. We're still trying to organize things Still not happy with that corner just yet, but we're getting there. The shop has definitely been overhauled for sure, but we're getting there, guys. Heck yeah.